Morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our miracle call, February 9th, 2026. I'll be your host this morning, Sun Shower, and I'm in the environs of the Red Rocks of Sedona, Arizona. I'm so happy to see all of you here, your bright and shiny faces on a Monday morning. This is the best way to start any morning, is to be with your LifeWave family. And let's talk about our testimonials. What's been going on for you using our patches? So this is about a half-hour call, and in the first 15 minutes, we'd like to hear testimonials from you only about X39 and Celergize. And then the last 15 minutes, we can move on to the other patches. So we do have some house rules, and that would be we want to keep our testimonials brief, 30 to 60 seconds. If you go on and on and on, I'm going to kind of beep you. Beep. And we just want to be really considerate to our fellow Live Younger family, right? We are on the Live Younger team, and we welcome all of our guests. We're so happy that you're here. If it's your first time, you might just listen in, but you know what? If you're really bold and you have something you want to tell us about X39 or Celergize, please do so by raising your virtual hand. Well, how do you do that? At the bottom of your screen, if you're on a desktop or a laptop, you'll see a little heart and it says react. And you can click that, and then you'll see this long horizontal bar that says raise hand. That's what you want to click, not the one that says waving. And then while you're talking, please leave your hand up. When you're done, you can take your hand down. That way, we can all see you because there's a little green box around you while you're speaking. So with that, let's talk about our disclaimers. Of course, LifeWave does not claim to treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. So we want to talk in general terms, like symptoms, This is how it was before I used X39, and I used X39 in this position for such a period of time, and this is how it is for me now. Who wants to go first? Shanka, there you go. Well, yeah, we'll get to Danielle.
That's okay. So I started using X39 September 1st of 2022, and I've been using it almost every day since. And a lot of the miracles that I had at the beginning, I'm not having them anymore because I'm not having the pain. And I had the thought, is it still doing something for me? Like, like, I mean, I know it's great and I know it's marvelous, and do I still keep doing it? And then on Friday, fish tank was flooding the living room. Daughter has a competition, blah, blah, blah. Son's testing for lots of stuff going on. The result was that I left the house at like 6:30 in the morning, and usually I don't leave till 2 in the afternoon. And when my alarm went off to put on my X39, I was an hour away and had no ability to get back, and I didn't have any patches on me, and I didn't have my patches Friday, and I felt like I'd been hit by a Mack truck. Everything hurt. I was tired. I couldn't think. I said, well, guess they're working. Too bad that to notice that they're working, I had to experience not working.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to let you know is that one of my preferred customer pluses called me and said, I just have to tell you about that Celergize. I bought it when you recommended I bought it, and I've been taking it every day, and I've been losing weight. Every time I get on the scale, I'm a pound lighter. It's really great. She said, and now I haven't had it for like 3 weeks because I didn't, whatever. She didn't have it, and the weight is creeping back. She said, so, do you have any that you could overnight me that'll get here faster than me just ordering it from the company? I said, no, you got to just order it from your back office. She said, okay.
Wow, great stories. Look at you go. I see David over here is being patched right now. All right, thanks again, Dushenka. Come on in, Danielle.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for hosting. I'm super excited because I got up this morning and I was determined that I was going to expand this week. Okay, so I get a call from my chiropractic office that says, Annie is her name, wants patches. Now they've had the patches for a year. No one's done anything. She gets up today. The other day I walked in and I said, "You're sick again." And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I only have a patch on my neck." So I took my patch off my neck, put it on her. I got a call back today that she said she's never had an experience like this. She got completely well in a day. She called her daughter, she called her husband, and they're like, "How is this possible?" Anyway, it was just beautiful because I got a new customer this morning just by that. And I said, I even took it off my neck. I'm like kind of creepy, but just so excited that that can happen for people.
Yeah, there are such things as one patch wonders, as we know, but a new person may not know that. And so,
Right.
what we typically say is please be consistent and drink a lot of water and improve your health style, your lifestyle so that you're eating and drinking more healthy. But
So
thank you for that. That was excellent. Good news. And congratulations.
yeah.
Okay, Gary Wagner.
Good morning. Oh, it says unable to access camera.
I
So,
can hear you, but that's okay.
can you? Okay, right. So I'm so excited to be on. I have a long-term phone issue that just got resolved. I've been having to tie in just by phone. So I hope everybody's doing really well out there. So I have two brief experiences. The first one is I have an 81-year-old customer that comes to buy honey, and she fell and hit her head against the building. Yeah, so she decided to come out anyway, and she had literally the size of a chicken egg swollen on the top of her head and the broken skin and the sore sensitivity that comes with that. So I said, "Well, I've been telling you about these amazing patches. Do you want to try a little experiment?" And she said, "Sure." So I put it on and I said, "We can't promise, we can't diagnose, but based on what I've seen, that maybe that swelling may be gone very soon, and you might be able to even touch the sore spot." So she, I, I called her. That was Friday. I called her on Sunday. I said, "So what happened?" So she said, "Well, we were freaking out, Gary, because she said, just like you said, by the morning, the swelling was completely gone, and I can touch the top of my head and rub it." So, so yeah, that's exciting. She's been trying the patches. And the other one is at the farmer's market when I was selling honey, there was a Mexican man selling some amazing fruit with chamoy sauce. And I was telling him about the patches. Well, he cut the tip of his little pinky off and he came to me. He says, "Oh, do you think that'll work?" I said, "Do I ever?" So I said, "Well, we used some peroxide, cleaned it up. I wrapped an X39 around the tip of his finger, put on a new glove, and I went over about an hour later and he says, "I can't even feel it. It doesn't hurt." He says, "This is amazing. By the end of the day, you couldn't even really tell." He cut the very tippy tip. So you couldn't even tell where the tip was cut off. So he's a believer also in trying the patches. So exciting. Woohoo.
It's really exciting, and thank goodness, people are open. It seems more and more people are open to giving
Hmm.
LifeWave and our light technologies a chance, to do their stuff because they sure
Yeah.
do work, whether you think they're working or not.
Thank you in advance for your hosting. You always do a great job.
Oh, thank you so much, Gary. So,
Okay.
let's see. Oh, goody. There's Susan.
Hi, good morning. Last week, my my husband snapped his thumb in a rat trap, and it was black.
Oh,
Let's see if I can
yeah.
get this. Let me turn that silly blur background off so
Blur.
you can see
Yeah.
it.
Yep, we can see it.
It was
It was
mash.
gnarly.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, of
Enough, enough.
course, we put it, okay, we're creeping around. Okay, it was, of course, we put an X39 right on the tip of his thumb and taped it on, and the pain was gone, within, what would you say, sweetie, an hour or so?
Yeah,
Just show
yeah.
put your thumb up there.
Yeah. Let's see.
And now,
Where do?
into the camera.
Oh,
Look at that,
wow.
look at that. And I mean,
Wow.
his whole thumbnail was black, and I thought they're gonna have to drill it or something
I
horrible.
thought the end was coming off.
Yeah.
I thought really it had pressed off the end of my thumb,
Hmm.
and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. that thumb is the same thumb. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Isn't that
My thumb,
fabulous? Thank you so much.
yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Keith. I'm her husband.
Hi, Keith. Yeah, I got that. I just didn't know your name.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. Thank you so much, you
All
guys.
right.
Hey,
Thank you.
Michelle.
Okay, good morning. Like I said, I'm not going to have my camera on because
Uh-huh.
internet is so wonky, it just flips out. So,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to follow up with another thumb story. This was probably a year and a half ago. I slammed my right thumb, which is my dominant hand, in a sliding glass door. And I know you might be thinking, how did you do that? But I'm not going to go into that part. It's a little embarrassing. But it immediately, well, within minutes, turned blue and extreme pain. And I was talking to a friend and who said, you can puncture that with a needle. And I thought, I think I'm not going to do that like old-fashioned, medicine or whatever. So I immediately put an X39, of course. And the pain was easily a 10 out of 10. And the patch brought it down probably to about a 7. It still hurt pretty bad. Then I put Ice Wave and it probably brought it down to about a 6 or a 5. It still was really hurting. But within probably a few hours, the pain had subsided to a manageable level. But here's the real miracle. It was so smashed that people were saying, you're going to lose your nail. And I said, well, I hope not because, I'm using these patches. It's going to be really ugly if I do. Well, I never lost my nail. It was a little wrinkled, like crumpled, but it never fell off. And now it's completely grown out normally. And here's another little PS to the story. I have a client who had the exact same injury on the same thumb. She slammed her finger in a door. It was black and blue, and she lost her nail. And her
Hmm.
thumb looked pretty bad, looked pretty ugly. I never lost my nail.
Mhm.
So there's my X39 and a little ice. Yay. Thank
Well
you.
said. We
Thank
receive these testimonials with open hearts. I mean, unbelievable. You would think that that nail would have been kind of crumpled or creased as it grew back, but nope, not with X39. Thanks again, Michelle. Hey, let's go to host Beanie.
Hey everybody. So I haven't told this story in a while, and it's really one of my favorites that happened to me. And this was about a year into taking the patch, the X39, and I go to a naturopath, and they do a testing for your biological age versus your chronological age. So this was right before COVID. And I went and I was 70, giving my age away here. And so I tested 60, and I thought that was good. That's a 10-year difference younger. And then I started the patch. So, because I do a lot of healthy things. So then I went back after COVID, and of course I was 73, and he tested again. And he said, something strange. And I said, why? He says, because you're testing between 35 and 40. And so I was like, what? And so that was like really a great marker to see how the body's rejuvenating. And so it keeps going. Everybody just know the body is continuing to regenerate whether you're feeling it or not.
Wow, I hope you say that story more because, we talk about, the stem cells coming back to life and dancing around, but, you can't really see all that. You might feel better, but you actually have proof. And so I really think it would be good if you speak of that story even more so that new folks that are going, I don't know, they say these work. We know they work. Well, thank you so much, Mimi. How about you, Marcy? What's up, girl? Just unmute. Hopefully you're on a laptop or a desktop and you can see the unmute, the little audio thing at the little icon at the bottom left of your screen. Just click that and then you should be able to be heard. But while you're playing around with that, I think we'll go on to Sandra.
Hi.
Hi.
Since we're on the story about thumbs, I thought I would give you a story about my husband. We started these patches about a year and a half ago. Actually, in May, it'll be 2 years. And I believe in the beginning we were just doing X39, and he had jammed his thumb way before our patches in a drawer, and his thumb became unbendable.
Ooh.
Yeah, it didn't hurt, and we didn't go to the doctor, and we just figured, oh my gosh, it got the joint, and we don't want thumb surgery, so he will just live with a thumb that doesn't bend. And we didn't want surgery. So anyway, life went on, and he didn't pay attention, and all of a sudden he realized his thumb was bending, and it still is bending. And that was the miracle right there, is that he never had to have thumb surgery because we made that decision not to. And then the patch helped it become normal again, I guess.
Aw.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Oh, really great. Really great. Where do you live, Sandra?
I live in California,
Where?
Fresno.
Oh, okay. Not too
That's,
far from my sister. She's in Atascadero.
oh yeah. Oh, Atascadero is a wonderful place. 3 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's great, Sandra. I
Uh-huh.
still see Marcy's hand up. And as I put in the chat, Marcy, if you can get to the chat box, put your testimonial in there and I'll read it. Okay? Because you have not unmuted yet. Oh, there you go.
Am I unmuted finally?
You are.
Good morning, Sunshine.
Morning, Marcy.
Sunshine is actually my host and has been wonderful, but I wanted to tell all of you, I started in with patches about a month and a half ago now. And at the time I went on, one of my main goals was to get my throat to work, because I've had several times where my voice has gone all the way. And I ended up with a bad bug just a little while ago, and it started going away, and I patched up my throat and patched it really good for the night. My husband said I looked like I'm ready for war, and the next morning I could talk. So
Wow.
I just thought I'd say that. That's my biggest breakthrough. Thank you.
That's really marvelous. Any breakthrough can seem like a huge breakthrough. Might seem small to one person, but to yourself, and that was really important. So what did you put? Which patches and where?
I put the glutathione on my throat, on my Adam's apple, if you will. And then I put the ice wave on either side of my throat, because it was for pain. As sore throat was one of the things that I saw. So that's what I did.
Fabulous. You guys, there's a great manual called the Patch Manual that you can get at Amazon. I think it's $20 odd. And it has a lot of good placements and pictures and, wonderful things. Patch Manual by Dr. Jen O'Sullivan. Marcy, you have one, don't you?
I do. That's what I was going to say. That's where I got the information. I just went looking because I am a singer. So for 4 years, my voice has gone in and out. So this was a big deal for me.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. So Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Well, thanks. Thanks so much, Marcy. Come on now, you guys. I got to see more hands up. You know how to do it. If you don't, just wave and I'll somehow recognize you.
Sun Shower.
Yeah, Gary.
So the patch manual has been upgraded. There's a new version out, and it's a bit more. It's like 45, but it's fabulous. It's incredible. Yeah, it's worth it. It's got all kinds of goodies, and it's thicker.
Oh, it
So
must be
just
thicker.
that was just wanted to, yeah. So I just wanted to share that. It's been upgraded.
Double the price. It better be double the thickness.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's
Well,
really good.
thanks for mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do see a hand. That would be Norma.
Whoop. Hi. Well, I have a story, but the patch manual is on sale on Dr. Jen's website. And my upline, my mentor, is sending me one. I cannot wait. It's the upgraded with all the 9 new ways to get paid. 'Cause another friend did get it, and my upline told me about it. But it's the newest version. It's only 20, I think $20 or $25 on Dr. It's on sale, in other words. So it's like half price now. So go grab it.
Yeah, good one.
Anyway, well, so
Norma,
over
would you put her website in the chat, please, for everyone?
Yes, it's just patchedu.com, but maybe someone else could, or I'll do it after I tell the
Okay, I'll do
story.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. My neighbor, I just love him. You know, he's just so humble and beautiful. And I gave him a little sampling of patches and some information about a year ago. Well, then about 6 months ago, he talked about how healthy he is, going to the gym and, just doing all this fabulous stuff and just a happy guy. 6 months ago, he got diagnosed with cancer. I mean, he wasn't responding to texts. I didn't see him outside, so I, picked some produce from my garden, went to his house. He told me he had been diagnosed with cancer and he was suffering massively. So, he had his last bout of chemo a few days ago, and he texted me. I said, well, you can start the patches after the chemo if that's what you want to do. He texted me the day after his chemo and he said, get me those patches. I used your gift yet today or yesterday, the day after chemo. And it just made such a remarkable difference. He was coughing uncontrollably. He wasn't coughing yesterday when I came over to take his order. I mean, he couldn't sleep, his hacking and coughing. He couldn't talk without just, nonstop coughing and hacking. It was painful to watch him. So we have a miracle in the neighborhood, and I think it's gonna, expand to the rest of the neighborhood because of really a one patch wonder miracle story. So thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, David Schmidt. Thank you. Upline, Wendy House. Thank you.
We're so grateful to David Schmidt. If it weren't for him, none of us would be here, right?
Right. And the thing of it is he listened to everything that I said he might order because I put him on the phone with my upline, and I love how it said it's something like, what is it? I forget how it goes, but it's like my giving him my heart's desire, with a gift and just staying on him and lovingly. Plus that third party validation is a perfect buying decision, which he was ready to order everything that my upline suggested. So thank you, upline Wendy House.
Yes, and I just want to tag on to that. There is such a thing as three-way calls, and actually you can learn about that through your upline and Live Younger Success. I think I have a couple of recordings up there on Live Younger Success. So the third party validation can take you miles and miles and eons past where you think you might be going with any given person, because your upline does know how to ask the questions and find out what their desire is. And we always try to do what we can to get a person to their desired outcome. So good one. I'm glad you mentioned that, Norma. Okay, we'll move on to Jerry.
Hey, Sanchar, thank you. Hello, everyone. I just want to throw out a few things out there that we are so happy for our One Patch Wonders, because it really makes our job, if you want to say, easier. But what I want to stress is its consistency and just staying with it, and the hydration, because I had a monumental list of things that we were dealing with me. And, my results weren't fast. But lo and behold, I was consistent. And one of the things I wasn't even thinking of because it wasn't that serious to me was 2.5 years later, I could get down on the floor without using a table and chair and didn't look like I was 90 years old. I mean, my knees did not work. And all of a sudden, it was an accident that I found out they worked. And I now can be on them, even painting baseboards in the house, and they're not hurting. And I wasn't even thinking of that one. So please be consistent. I'm going into 5 years and I'll never stop. We're lifers, as we call ourselves. And, consistent, be persistent with it. It's going to happen. So thank you so much for letting me share, Sunshine.
Absolutely, Jerry. And that is kind of an issue. I think folks maybe just give up too soon. So that's a really important part of your message, Jerry. Please stay with it for at least a month for every decade that you're alive. Think about that. It's not just like, well, a month goes by, I don't think this is working. No, stop, gotta stick with it, babies. Okay, David, you're up.
Hey again. I've been on the patch for 2.5 years, and 2.5 years ago, I had such a bad pain in my feet and my legs, and I was unable to walk more than 40 feet. And my daughter, Michelle Gray, and I'll mention her name because she's a director with us. She introduced me to the patches, and it was immediate relief from my pain, and my mobility came right back. But the story I wanted to tell is I had dead spots in my legs for years and years and years, resulting from a car accident when I was very young, and it pinched some nerves in my back. Anyhow, I had many, many doctors because I was on construction, and they all said, well, you got to live with that and learn how to live with it because it's nerve damage. You can't fix it. And anyhow, so I lived with it for 30 years, and then I got onto the patch, and I realized about 3 months into the patch that my legs had no more dead spots. They were all alive, and I just couldn't believe it because I lived with it for so long. So they really, really do work on everything that's inside you and outside you. And I'm really quite amazed. I'm a lifer as well. And I thank my daughter immensely for introducing me to the wearable light technology.
LifeWave lifers. What a great term. Thanks so much, David. There's almost 140 people here this morning. It's very cool to have all of you here. If you're brand new and you want to ask a question or something, you really should actually ask your upline, but if it's something really quick, we might be able to fit it in. So Judy Johnson, you're next.
Yes, good morning. I am another lifer, by the way. We've been we've been with you guys 4.5 years. I'm sitting here as I'm listening to these stories like, okay, what have I noticed? Because you do start to wonder, even though I understand the technology, so I know they work, so I will always wear them. But I'm sitting here and noticing I had numbness in my toes for, gosh, when I started them, and it was because I had wore high heels for years and years and years, and my toes got bent. Like the second toe would move into the big toe. Well, I can tell you, first of all, that those toes are straightening out, which I find fascinating, but the numbness is gone. It's gone. And I just noticed that this morning as I'm paying attention, because you just kind of go along and do what you do. And so I'm like super excited about that. I think that's kind of a big deal. Thank you.
It is. It is a big deal. And, there's probably other women here today that go, oh, maybe that's why my toes are numb. Yeah, and the fact that the one is straightening out, who'd have thunk it, you guys? With a little patch? Are you kidding me? Well, guess who's going to speak next? My very sponsor in LifeWave. Her name is Jana. Hi, Jana.
Hi. I had a call from one of the people that I had signed up, and he said, I have a story I want to tell you. I was traveling with my sister, and he and his sister are on the patches, and they met a friend, and the woman could hardly walk. And she said she had been for 3 months. Her Achilles tendon had been excruciating, and they told her it would take a long time for it to heal from an accident she had. And so they said, all right, well, why don't we just try a patch on you and see what happens? And they put a patch on her, and they had lunch. And by the end of the lunch, she could get up and walk and without pain. She was even on her tiptoes. So I thought that was really cool. He called to tell me that.
How old a person was she?
She was in her 70s.
So just one patch.
Just one patch wonder. And she signed up right away.
Well, of course she did. Wonderful. Well, yeah, you pressed me for a few months before I said yes.
Right.
But I'm sure glad I did. And thank you so much, Shauna.
Yes. My pleasure.
Good morning. Good morning again, Danielle.
Well, I just had to say that I thought I was making it up that my toes were straightening out. So I'm so glad that somebody said that, because I was looking and I thought, this is crazy. Is this possible? And I noticed that my hands are like the wrinkles are going away on my hands. So thank you for sharing that, because it just validates it's true.
It is true.
Yeah, thanks.
I think all us women ought to look at our toes, don't you think? Hey, let's
pretty
start
cool.
looking at our toes, you guys. All righty.
Thanks.
Thanks again, Danielle. And let me see if I read you right. Deborah. Is that right?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Hi.
I just wanted to share that I was a one patch wonder. A friend of mine, my upline, shared. She gifted me some patches, and the moment that I put that patch on, my brain fog went away. I had been in a job that I did not want to be in anymore, and it was total burnout. And I really thought I was going to be just put into a rocking chair when I finally got out of that office. And wow, it just lit up my brain like you wouldn't believe. Now, this was right about when COVID hit. So I've been patching for 5 to 6 years. I use all of them, but my other, you said you wanted a Cellergize testimony, is when Cellergize came out, I started using it, and I had always had a neck issue from a previous whiplash. And when I started using the Cellergize, I could feel a little bit of grinding in my neck, like things were breaking loose. And I haven't been to the chiropractor since Cellergize has come out, and I feel
Wow.
totally amazing.
That is.
It was,
Wow. I'd love to
I'm
see
a
some
lifer.
videos. You know that you can post videos with your testimonials at our Live Younger Facebook group. You need to be invited. If you haven't been invited and you are a brand partner, please talk to your upline, get yourself invited so you can post some of these stories so other people can see it, not just those that come to our miracle calls. Very good. Thank you, Deborah. Is there anybody else? Because we're just kind of at the bottom of the hour here, aren't we? I think we might be done. Liz, would you like to talk about tonight's community updates?
Sure. Thank you. And great testimonials today. Really inspiring. So tonight at 9 o'clock East Coast time, 6 o'clock Pacific, and whatever time zone you're in between, you can calculate out. We have our Monday evening update and training call with Gregory and Robin Mascari. And so they'll be covering some great information tonight. So join us at liveyoungerzoom.com. So with that, we're going to say goodbye for today, and we'll see you next week. If you'd like to unmute and say goodbye, that would be awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank
you.
Bye,
everyone.
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
Thank
Sunshine Shower. Amazing job, my friend.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much.